Welcome, everyone. Thank you for taking time on a Saturday evening in the US and Sunday morning in India to hear to Adithya Krishna, who will be talking to us about harmony within yoga as the key to health and wellness. A short introduction about Adithya. Adithya Krishna is a research scholar, Department of Human Consciousness and Yogic Sciences, Bangalore University, Karnataka, India. He pursued MSc in Yogic Science, specialization in yoga therapy in 2019 with first rank and gold medal at university level. He is currently a research scholar in yogic science. He has presented several research papers in more than 10 national international workshops and conferences, and also conducted various types of yoga training programs like yoga therapy camps, special lectures in schools, colleges, primary health centers, etc. Aditya is working on an interdisciplinary study to see the effect of yoga practice on human metabolism. I welcome Aditya to begin his presentation. And if you have any questions for Aditya, please feel free to put on the chat. At the end of the presentation, Aditya will try and answer them as much as possible. The mic is to you, Aditya, now.
Thank you, ma'am. Hello, everyone. I hope my audio is clear.
Yes.
So here we are today to discuss about how we can achieve harmony within by practicing yoga. So the whole session will be like based on the principles of yoga and how the practice should be. Then what will be the benefits of it. So it goes on like since this is the first session, like from my side. So I just wanted to uh, like keep it simple so that it follows the Indian way of like approach. It has the Indian science always follows uh, one unique approach where it clearly specifies four things before we start learning any subject. That is adhikari, then Vishaya, Sambandha, and Prayojana. Four things need to be considered. And Adhikari refers to who is eligible to practice or who is eligible to learn something. And Vishaya, of course, the subject matter which is under concern. Then Sambandha. So, what is the connection or the how the particular subject is concerned with that particular individual. So that's the sambandha. Then the final one, the benefits, prayojana. So if we look at these four things before we start learning anything, then that learning would be more purposeful. So that's the basic idea. So the whole session will be divided into these four basic idea, especially how to achieve harmony within by practicing yoga. Let me share one short PowerPoint presentation. I hope the slides are visible. Okay. Let us begin with a prayer. योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचां मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि. Later I would explain the significance of this shloka. This is tribute to Maharshi Patanjali, who is believed to be the father of Yoga Shastra. According to Maharshi Patanjali, there are, of course, several other definitions about yoga. What is yoga? There are many other explanations, definitions. But according to Patanjali, yoga chitta vritti nirodha. So, what is yoga? It is restraining the thought process. So, that's what the ultimate yoga. So, whatever the practice that have been described, everything that leads to restraining the chitta vrittis. That's the basic and primary thing that need to be taken care of while practicing yoga. There are so many schools under the subject. Schools refers to a different way of approach, like paths, various paths, like bhakti yoga, karma yoga, jnana yoga, hatha yoga. These are all the famous or very popular paths of attaining the salvation, or we call mukti or liberation. Uh, that's the ultimate aim in Indian philosophy. So there are various other darshanas like Sankhya, Vaisheshika, etc. Yoga is also one among those darshanas, and these are all meant to lead individual towards liberation, mukti. So that's the main aim. So each darshana, it will show different, like its own path to reach the state of samadhi, uh, which is nothing but moksha. But each subject will have its own way of explaining how the evolution took place, how the life forms they got into this universe, uh, how they should lead their life. So each subject explains on its own way. In the similar manner, yoga also has its own evolution theory, then how a person should lead life. So it's more of uh, related to various aspects of day-to-day life. It's not just physical practice like asana or pranayama. It, of course, asana pranayama are very important part of yoga practice, but it's not only limited to these things. So yoga chitta vritti nirodha, that is restraining the thought process. There comes one question: which are those vritti, means thought processes that are worth to be avoided? So to get this clarity, we should start practicing the yoga. Then we start start to understand, okay, these are the unwanted thoughts and we should avoid. And the ability to avoid such thoughts, unwanted thoughts, will be attained once we start the practice in minute level. And as we move forward, that tendency to avoid such unwanted things in our life will increase, and that will take us to the next level. So this is how the process goes on. The main question comes when we look at the purpose of practicing yoga. Usually nowadays, yoga is popular uh, uh, to attain health. So yoga is known to give good health. But when we look at the ancient scriptures, as I explained, it is to attain moksha. Health is like a sub-product or byproduct. But why the ancient Maharshis, they gave importance to health? Because in one of the very important Hatha Yoga text, it is mentioned, Yogat sanjayate jnanam, jnanad yoga pravartate, dvayoho samsiddhaye bhumau, shariram rakshayed buddhaha. So, by practicing yoga, jnana, that is the consciousness that develops. And from consciousness, jnana yoga pravartate. As the jnana starts developing, or once the jnana improves, again it will lead to improvement in practice. That is, higher level of advanced level of practices can be performed by the individual once he starts getting knowledge. So this is how the individual is led to samadhi. So yogat sanjayate jnanam, jnana yoga pravartate. But to achieve this thing, dvayoho samsiddhaye bhumau shariram rakshayed buddhaha. So the primarily the necessary thing is career, body, physical body with sound mind is very, very essential for attainment of jnana or moksha and practicing yoga. So maintaining health is the basic thing. If one person, if he is having good health, then he can practice all the other noble values. Otherwise, everything will come to maintaining the health. If he is having any physiological disturbance or physiological problems, then all the time goes to manage such problems. So, shariram kaphanashena susthairyam yati nishchitam sa kapho hathayogena vinashyati sharirinam. So, the body is made up of tridosha. That's what the uh, Ayurveda explains how the body is made up of. So, tridosha are vata, pitta, and kapha. These are the basic constituents. Our body is made up of these three things. But excess of any of these doshas, it will lead to diseased condition. So, by practicing yoga, the excess kapha or any other dosha can be managed. So, by practicing suthairyam yati nishchitam, the body becomes steady, strong, and it can withstand any type of challenge. Another Hatha Yoga text, Gheranda Samhita, also suggests Saptanga Yoga, 7 limbs under yoga practice. षट्कर्मण शोधनं च आसनेन भवेत् दृढं मुद्रया स्थिरता चैव प्रत्याहारेण धीरता प्राणायामात् लाघवं च ध्यानात् प्रत्यक्षमात्मनि समाधिना निर्लिप्तं च muktireva na samshayah. So you might be familiar with Ashtanga Yoga term. That means 8 limbs under the subject yoga, practicing 8 different practices that is popularly known as Ashtanga Yoga. In the same way, there are Chaturanga Yoga uh, under Hatha Pradipika text. It is said there are 4 limbs. It does not mean that the other limbs are not necessary, but it is taken for consideration that if a person is into the yoga practice, the like some of the basic things are mandatorily. So those things are mandatorily practiced. So no need to specify such basic practices. So with that notion, they just limited to 4 angas, chaturanga. So here in Gheranda Samhita, Gheranda Muni explains there are 7 limbs, and in each practice you will get specific benefit, like Shat Karmana, like Shat Kriya. There is one category. So if you practice Kriyas, then Sodhanam means the cleansing, the whatever the excess kapha or pitta, whatever it is there, we can eradicate such excess components from the body. So this will reduce the impurity. So reduction of impurity will be attained by practicing kriyas. Then asanena bhave dridham. So dridhata can be attained by practicing asana. Mudra, another type of practice where asana, pranayama and bandha, these 3 practices are performed together. So those type of practices are considered as mudra. It's an advanced level of practice, and by practicing mudra, sthirata, that is attained to the body as well as mind. Then pratyaharena dhirata. So dhi refers to buddhi. So dhirata means buddhi will attain the clarity. So that's the result of practicing pratyahara. That is controlling the sensory organs. Pratyahara refers to controlling the sensory organs. So as the sensory organs becomes pure and pure, buddhi will get more clarity. So the decision making will be very fine, and always ability to take right decision will be improved. Then pranayama laghavam. So by practicing pranayama, the lightness of the body can be attained. Dhyana pratyakshamatmani. So knowing about self, atma. So that can be attained by practicing dhyana. Samadhina nirliptam cha. So this state, samadhi or nirliptata, that is very near to moksha. If we continue that practice, samadhi practice further, then we will reach the destination. So with this introduction, let us jump into the core of today's session. If we look at the uh, diseases and global burden of disease, that means which are the type of diseases that lead to mortality worldwide or in India, then there is a paradigm shift in the category of disease which lead to death. Like for example, if you look at in the year 1990, diarrheal disease, drug susceptible tuberculosis, such were the main death causing diseases. But as we come to year 2021, then those diseases are now controlled to maximum extent, or now we can manage such diseases. But you can see ischemic heart diseases. So ischemic heart diseases are now in the top position. They are taking the major stake when it comes to the cause for mortality. Why this thing is like this is mainly the in the earlier like before like 3-4 decades, major challenge was to control diseases like cholera, malaria, then rabies, then plague. Those were the major uh, players when it comes to mortality. But as the science advanced, medical science and as well as the other science and technology, they led to discovery of medicines, in vaccinations, etc. And now we are able to control such viral or bacterial diseases, and now we see very less number of people die due to such diseases. But mm, all those diseases come under category called communicable diseases. But nowadays the major challenge is non-communicable diseases like diabetes, then heart diseases. There are many types under cardiovascular diseases. So such diseases are now becoming more and more challenging ones, because like 60 to 70% of the population is affected by these type of health issues. So these are the major concern to the society as well as to the governing bodies. The same is explained in this slide also. Under acquired disease, that is majorly these type of diseases are acquired. Like even though genetics or heredity plays a major role, the lifestyle is the basic factor which controls the prevalence of these type of non-communicable diseases. So modifiable factors like smoking, nutrition, then sleep, personal hygiene, all these things will help us to manage non-communicable disease. It may be either to prevent or to treat. First of all, we should give attention to these causative factors or influencing factors which is leading to that condition. Unless we give attention to these factors, even though we go for medication, the problem will, or the root cause will not be solved. We will be treating the symptoms instead of treating the cause. So correcting the causative factors is the basic thing, and it's a primary idea in Indian science. Like it may be yoga, Ayurveda, or any such medicinal system of Indian origin. It will root cause, not the symptom. Uh, yeah, there is like solution for symptom also, but they will not stop by that. They usually try to solve the cause of those symptoms. So this is what makes the subject unique compared to the modern medicinal system. Even Maharshi Patanjali says, Vyadhi, Sthana, Samshaya, etc. There are Nava Antarayas, 9 type of obstacles for any sadhana. Especially he uh, is explaining yoga sadhana, but we can relate that to any sadhana. Take it like uh, educational career or professional career. In any form, we have 9 type of antaraya, and vyadhi is the, that means diseased condition. It is the first antaraya when it comes to performance. And when these 9 type of antarayas are there, there arrives 4 aspects: dukkha, daurmanasya, angamejayatva, and shwasa prashwasaha. So dukkha, grief or sadness. Then daurmanasya. Daurmanasya is a state where the individual will be having a kind of aversion or a type of uh, revengeful mentality that arrives due to failure in attaining something. That's daurmanasya. That's the state of daurmanasya. And angamejayatva, tremor in the body. So whenever we feel very stressed or too much anger, in that state, we feel the tremor in the body. Body starts shaking. And the change is also noticed in Svasa Prashvasa. The rhythm of inhalation and exhalation gets disturbed. These are the symptoms through which we can understand one person is not healthy. The physical and mental state is not under control or under, it's not in balanced state. So this is how we can diagnose a person. So this is what said in Patanjala Yoga Sutra. So when it comes to health, overall health is very essential. You can see picture of one very famous personality. He is greatly respected in Indian stock market, and Rakesh Junjunwala is the person here. Uh, when he died in his 56th year or 58th year, I think, uh, he had around 48,000 crores of wealth under his name. But in his final, like in his last uh, days, he said, my worst investment was made on my health. So that's what the statement given by Rakesh Junjunwala. This gives us a very important message that how much attention we need to give towards our personal health. He started achieving success in stock market, and I think by his 40th year, he would have achieved some of crores. So from that stage, he could have gave much like attention towards his health, but there was something, some factors were there which stopped him or which deviated him from that aspect. Means he was continuously focused on earning or investing in stock market. So throughout the day, he was busy in thinking related to stock market, and in that uh, under that pressure or work stress, his health went on uh, like deteriorating, and in his very early age, even though he had such wealth, he could not save his life. So that's why when we look at the health, just physical fitness is not mere uh, enough. We should look at physical health, mental health, and when it comes to mental health, stress management, emotional balance, and how much we are able to focus on one particular subject when it comes to, like, it may be profession, or if we if we are pursuing uh, one subject, then what is our ability to focus on that. So these are all the parameters decides our mental health. Then spiritual health, cultivating inner peace and harmony. This is very essential when it comes to social life. Without spiritual health, or without giving some attention to spiritual health, humans cannot be very good social animals. So yoga is known as a holistic approach towards lifestyle, and that is because it will address a person completely. Like, there are practices which help to get the physical fitness as well as sound mental health, then ability to manage the emotional outburst. Sometimes person may feel extremely happy, and sometimes the quite opposite. So both extreme ends are problematic. So we must be able to maintain a stability in both the cases. There may be severe loss or huge profit. In both the condition, we must be in a position to have the clarity of mind, clarity of thought, which is right, what I need to do. It may be with respect to food. Then, like for example, we know people consume alcohol when they are too much happy, as well as when they are extremely sad. So they just need some excuses to go behind such habits. So very strong uh, clarity of mind will restrain them from such habits. So only physical practice, we may practice asana for asana or pranayama for 1 hour, 1.5 hour a day. But if we do not think about the other limbs, like uh, under Ashtanga Yoga, there are 8 limbs. If we are not looking at the yoga practice overall, then it may not be a complete practice, or it may not become a holistic approach. Lobhat krodha prabhavati. Lobha, greed. So lobhat kamah prajayate. Lobhan mohascha kamas nashascha. Lobha papasya karanam. And krodhat bhavati sammohah. Lord Krishna says, krodhat bhavati sammohah. Sammohat smriti vibhramah. Smriti bhramshat buddhinasho. Buddhinashat pranashyati. So when the clarity of buddhi, that is the decision making, fails, then the individual will going to perish. That's what the uh, dangerous part. So to have the clarity of buddhi, all the emotions need to be kept under control. So ultimately everything draws down into the moral values, which is right, which is wrong. Unless we develop this view towards life, then we will not be aligned towards the right path. For example, uh, we know to get health or to maintain good health, we must eat hygienic or nutritious food, organic food. But it is not up to any individual. The whole society must take participation in this type of movement. Otherwise, what happens? We may be in a we may be interested to follow these type of good food habit, but the producer, then the middleman, as well as the people who are marketing food items, even they should get aligned with this type of thought process. Otherwise, we are just consumers. When it comes to the consumer end, it would have been already adulterated, or so. Why those things happen? Just because of everyone want to make more and more profit without morality. So this is one small example how we can understand why yoga is important, because we can achieve good health or we can manage diseases by following any medicinal system. There is no uh, barrier. But why yoga is essential? Because it treats both the physical problems as well as the uh, blocks within our mind. So unless we look at as overall, we will not uh, reach that state where we can uh, reach that holistic lifestyle. So as I told, there are many schools, but for a normal person, normal human being who is into any professional life, then he should give his time to family, then job, everything. So for him, practicing jnana yoga, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, those things may not be very suitable. So that's why Patanjali Maharshi suggested Ashtanga yoga for a common person who will be busy with all the worldly things. So asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi, these are all the practices. Like physically you need to sit and practice. But the other two, yama and niyama, these are the practices related to the psychological health. So under yama and niyama, ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, parigraha ityadi values, noble values are followed by the practitioner. Then under niyama, there are shaucha, santosha, tapas, swadhyaya, and ishvara pranidhi. There are in various texts we find different numbers. Like some texts say there are 10 yamas and 10 niyamas, but Patanjali Maharshi mentions 5 yama and 5 niyamas, which are the very basic. And if you follow these 5 plus 5, then all the other values will be attained by the individual. So that's the idea here. For example, under niyama, there is one value known as santosha, that is contentment. So without contentment, the situation would be like the person which I showed earlier. If he had attained contentment, definitely he could have thought about his personal health. So this is how the holistic approach that is given by yoga towards life. So we should think about the mental health, physical health, spiritual health. So then only an individual can be very efficient in his life. So I think with the remaining time, uh, we can practice two pranayama techniques, which you may also use in your daily life. You can practice wherever you are. If you are sitting in a chair, then just sit straight, chin mudra, just touch the tip of the forefinger and thumb, and leave the other fingers straight, and keep this with both the palms in chin mudra above knee joints. Sit straight, close your eyes, inhale deeply, exhale completely, inhale deeply, exhale completely. Concentrate on the throat region. Try to feel the breath movement at the throat region. Inhale deeply, exhale completely. Keep on concentrating at the throat region. Breathe up to 10 rounds. Inhale deeply, exhale completely. Count mentally up to 10 rounds. Keep on concentrating at the throat level. Inhale deeply, exhale completely. After 10 rounds, gently open your eyes. Now keep Chin Mudra in your left hand as it is. In right hand, hold forefinger and the middle finger and leave the other three fingers free. Then bring it near to the nose. Press right nostril. Just gentle press. Just close right nostril using right thumb. Then inhale through left nostril. Take a deep breath in through left nostril only. Inhale deeply, then close left nostril. Then after closing the left nostril, leave the thumb. Release right nostril, exhale through right, exhale completely. Then inhale through right itself. Inhale again, close the right, exhale through left. So vice versa. First, start inhaling through left nostril. Inhale through left, close left, exhale through right, and then again inhale through right itself, close right, exhale through left. Repeat for 5 rounds. Close your eyes, sit straight, close right nostril, start inhaling through left, inhale through left, close left, release right nostril, exhale through right nostril, exhale completely, inhale through right itself, close right, exhale through left. This completes 1 round. Repeat for 4 more rounds. After 5 rounds, release the hands, gently open your eyes. These are the 2 basic as well as very important pranayama techniques, Ujjayi and Anuloma Viloma. We start with these 2 basic practices, and as the capacity increases, we will move on to the higher level of pranayama. So, to conclude, the core point is as Lord Krishna says, see, when Bhagavad Gita, when it is uh, preached to Arjuna, the situation was to Arjuna need to fight against his beloved people, like his grandfather Bhishma, then Guru Dronacharya, and many other relatives. So he must fight against them. Fighting against Kauravas is not a big thing. He can fight with them without any uh, stress on his emotion. But when it comes to fight against our beloved things, that becomes very great challenge. Like many of us may be vegetarians. We think vegetarianism is very good for uh, maintaining health, or it is easy to uh, maintain a healthy lifestyle. But even under vegetarian diet system, if we go for more oily food, then uh, like nowadays we use various uh, like garlic or onion, up to like too much usage, it will not be very healthy habit. But taste wise, that will be very much pleasing. So fighting against these type of beloved things is the great challenge. So yoga helps us to develop vairagya towards these items. Once we start developing vairagya at minor level, then it helps to increase the practice. And the practice will help us to attain more viral. So this is how the practice goes on, and we can achieve the destination. So with this, I think the session can be made open to any questions or doubts if you have.
Thank you so much, Aditya, for really highlighting the importance of practicing yoga in your life. It has its own benefits. And if any of the participants want to ask questions, please raise your hand. We'll unmute you, and you can definitely ask your questions to Aditya, and he will try to answer to his best possible extent. And probably, Aditya, if it is okay towards the end, if you can just do a short 2 minute meditation or just a minute, a small one, if you're comfortable. Otherwise, it's
Yeah,
okay. When we conclude
yeah,
after
yeah, yeah. We
everybody
can do it.
ask their questions. So,
Yeah, okay.
participants, please feel free to, if you're not comfortable talking, you can post it on the chat. We will give a couple of minutes and then probably do just a 2 minute meditation to conclude the session. So I have a question for you. So if there's somebody who wants to start pranayama, it's just beginning, okay? How many minutes should they start with, and how do they increase in as they move along?
Yeah, first of all, it is decided by the physical fitness. How much, like, if you are sitting on the floor, then uh, if you are feeling pain in the legs and at the root of the back, if such things are there, then you should look at the number of rounds, how much rounds that you are going to do. Otherwise, in the same manner, like 10 rounds, 12 rounds, 21 rounds. So this would be the beginner's number when it comes to rounds of breathing.
Thank you.
So uh, if you are practicing only Ujjayi and Anulom Viloma, you can have the number according to the individual's physical fitness.
Yeah,
But
probably.
start adding Kumbhaka and such a higher level of practice, then we need to uh, start by like around 5 rounds. 5 rounds would be beginner's number, not more than that.
Thank you, Aditya. Anyone who would like to ask questions, feel free to unmute or raise your hand. Yes, there's a question for you, Aditya. Do you have any tips for school or
Yeah,
college students to incorporate yoga into their routine?
definitely they can. It is very good for them to uh, get more cognitive abilities to improve their performance in school or colleges. Um, Always it is better to practice in the morning. At least half an hour would be more than
Yes.
sufficient. If you are practicing daily, then half an hour is sufficient.
So when you say 30 minutes, half an hour, what exactly do you
Mainly,
suggest they
mainly
do on their own?
like how I said, the practice, the whole session must be a blend of all the aspects, like practicing asana, pranayama, dhyana, meditation, and relaxation techniques like shavasana, yoga nidra. There are various practices. So within that half an hour, you must divide the time, like uh, the first 15 minutes asana, then 10 minutes pranayama, then 5 minutes of meditation and relaxation. Then
Thank
as
you.
you attain more and more physical fitness, then the time for pranayama and meditation can be extended.
I have another question for you. Are there any guided yoga meditation online that you would recommend?
Uh, Usually we prefer live sessions. Uh, that is because uh, if we depend on some recorded uh, setting, then it may not fit into the exact like each day it will not be
The same.
same for an individual depending upon his mental status that day. You need to alter the instruction, so that's why having live session is the better one. Sometimes you need to modify the timing. For example, if one person is stressed too much that day, then the 20 the 10 minutes guided relaxation session can be extended to 20 minutes, and the other practices like asana can be uh, restricted to 10 or 15 minutes. You can uh, leave some of the practices because mentally he will be not in a position to practice all the practices as usual. So this type of changes can be made when you are opting live classes.
Any other questions? Anybody who wants to ask? Otherwise, Aditya will just do a 2-minute meditation with us and then we will end the session. I'll give you a couple of seconds if I see any other questions. Yeah. Any tips for food timings in yoga?
Yeah. Main thing is you must follow a routine. That's very important. Yoga, there are timings like you must eat 4 times a day. So like that, it is mentioned in the scripture, but usually they are referring in the context of yogi. Okay, but we are not actually purely yogis. We are not only practicing yoga. Yoga is one part in our lifestyle. So we will not be able to exactly follow the prescribed food habit or food timings which is specified in the text. But usually, what we can do is maintaining the routine timing. That's the best way how we can have the good food habit. Like morning, if you are having food at 8 o'clock, then plus or minus 30 minutes would be the healthy habit. More than that, the circadian rhythm cannot cope up with the change. Like that, 3 to 4 hours of gap between each meal is very very essential. And if you are willing to have fruits or uh, fresh vegetables, then between like 10:30 to 11:30 in the morning, that would be the best time to have such item. And noon between 12:30 to 1:30, that would be the best time to have the meal. And in the evening between 7 to 8:30 would be the best time to have dinner.
There is another question. Are there any online yoga practice sessions offered?
Yeah, that is like based on demands, we are ready to offer such classes, group class or individual sessions. So it depends upon the interest of participants. And we can also like usually in our tradition, what we do is uh, uh, we will have a set of practice designed only for particular individual, depending upon any existing physiological condition, so that uh, the primary aim is to manage that illness and to come out of that, and then we concentrate on the higher practices. So in that way also we can do it. Otherwise, if you are already healthy, then to maintain that good health, we can have general practice.
Any other questions you'll have for Aditya? If not, we can just begin and we can conclude with the small meditation and then wind up. Aditya, you can begin. Aditya, I think we are good.
Okay. Again, hold chin mudra in both the hands. Keep both the palms above the knee joints, palms facing upwards. Sit straight. Keep the back, neck, and head straight. Close your eyes. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Imagine yourself in front of a prayer hall. Slowly enter inside the prayer hall. Observe the prayer hall. Imagine a lamp at the middle of the prayer hall. Sit in front of the lamp. Observe the lamp. Observe the light. Keep on concentrating on the light of the lamp. Stay for a while. Observe the light, observe the lamp, observe the surroundings of the prayer hall. Slowly come out of the prayer hall. Feel your presence inside the room. Release the hands. Slowly and gently open your eyes. Relax.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Aditya. Thank you. Uh,
Thank you for the opportunity. I thank
Not at all. It was
Lata ma'am and Prabhu Ayurveda for giving this opportunity to share some thoughts about yoga and wellness. I don't know
I'm glad.
how much was the effectiveness of the session.
Definitely effectiveness, I can tell you for two things sure. I'm sure people are definitely going to do pranayama and probably a 2 minute meditation every day.
Right.
There's always a start for everything. So this is just a beginning, and the way you explained on how it actually affects our body was really good. So we are all definitely going to take the first step by doing the breathing and just stay quiet for 2 minutes every day. That's the first step, and probably move on after that.
Yes.
So thank you so much for sharing your time and thoughts with us, and a big thanks from all the people who joined today. And a big thank you to everybody who took time on a Saturday evening and Sunday morning to be a part of this session. I'm planning to host every month a session, invite people who are expert in their field, and ask them to give a talk and probably share their knowledge with us. So thank you again for everyone for joining the session, and we will meet again next month with another healthcare professional who could guide us towards the path of good health. Thank you. Thank you, Aditya.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.